Tell me, can you see the stars? We're just running forward in the dark. You knew just what my soul needed. Two hearts, we share the same beating. Is this what it feels like? Coming back to real, coming back to real life. Keep me in the daydream. Know what I'm missing, things so still wide awake. Only come out at night, but we're still looking for signs. When I wake up, oh, I can't help but to wonder. Is this even real? Know what I'm missing, things so still wide awake. Only come out at night, but we're still looking for signs. When I wake up, oh, I can't help but to wonder. Is this even real? Is this even real? Is this even real? I just wanna see the stars. Oh, and every step I take is in the dark. You knew just what my soul needed. The only thing that kept my heart beating. Is this what it feels like? Coming back to real, coming back to real life. Give me the daydream. Know what I'm missing, things so still wide awake. Only come out at night, but we're still looking for signs. When I wake up, oh, I can't help but to wonder. Is this even real? Know what I'm missing, things so still wide awake. Only come out at night, but we're still looking for signs. When I wake up, oh, I can't help but to wonder. Is this even real?
Yo, guys, what is going on? How's everyone doing? Let me know if the sound and screen look good. Just let me know in the chat. Okay. ESAP for Life order block video. The order block video is on my channel, bro. Just go look for it. It's there. I think it's my most viewed video. So what's up, guys? It's your boy, Trader Mayne. Neck is in pristine form today. I wore the deep V, the Henley. Undone a couple buttons here so you guys can see not just the neck, but the surrounding area as well. The areas, the neck adjacent areas, you know, you got the traps in there. The traps are also thick. Okay. So this is for you guys here. You're welcome. But what's up? I'm back, guys, with another stream. I know I just did one a few days ago, but I said I want to get back into the rhythm here, back into doing a few streams. So we're back on Monday, and we'll be streaming next Monday as well, and maybe later this week. Who knows? But wanted to get another video out. Obviously, we have the rest of the markets open now today. We had Memorial Day weekend in the US, so things are still a little bit slow. There wasn't a ton of action today, but we'll kind of update my plans from Friday's video. And then we will talk about some charts that maybe you guys want to look at. I don't know. But we'll start with Bitcoin, Ethereum. We'll do the dollar. We'll do equities. We can do gold and silver. Anything you see on the panel there, I'm down to look at. And then obviously, if you have some specific altcoins you'd like us to look at, we're more than happy, or like me to look at, more than happy to do so once we get going. Okay. So yeah, the stash is back, as you can see. Dusty as ever. Greasy as ever. About to hit the hipster bar and order some gross IPA. Okay, views are down. Since I've been back, views are down. Normally we're closer to like 300-400 live. Maybe it's the time of day. But my last live stream got way less views than normal. And so did my condensed stream. Oh well, it'll come back. BC says, oh my God, you're hot. Thank you. You look older than you did a few years ago. Well, that's usually how it works. That's usually how time works. As the years go on, you get older. If that's not the case for you, let me know. Because I'd be interested in your fucking anti-aging potion. I'm going to be 33 soon, man. I'm old man. Okay, so real quick, guys, as you know, these streams are brought to you by Prime XBT. So if you want to support me, the best way to do so is through Prime XBT, clicking the link in the description of this video, sign up to Prime XBT, input the promo code Mayne50 before you deposit. You get a 7% deposit bonus on whatever you deposit, up to like a maximum of $7,000 or something like that. So if you deposited 100 grand, you'd get a $7,000 bonus. Now, Prime reached out to me about running a little bit of a promotion for you guys. So I have, I think, 100 codes for a 20% deposit bonus. So Mayne50 gets you a 7% deposit bonus. This gets you a 20% deposit bonus, still to a max of 7 grand, but you'd have to deposit way less money to get that 7 grand, right? So on a $10,000 deposit, you'd get a $2,000 bonus. So I have a bunch of those codes to give away. I only have 100, so I don't know the best way to do it. So if you are interested and you're actually going to sign up to Prime and deposit money because you want to trade there, feel free to DM me. And if you're doing it through my link, I'll send you one of these deposit bonuses that gets you 20%. So again, if you deposited what would be the max deposit to get the 7,000, right? 35 grand deposit, you get a $7,000 bonus, which would make you able to trade with, just over $42,000. Okay, enough with that shit. Let's get into the video. Thanks, Prime, for putting that together for us. So we'll start with Bitcoin, okay? We just had the daily close, so let's just delete everything here. Here's the daily chart as it stands right now on Bitcoin. No indicators or anything on it, just the chart. So what do you guys think? Is this good? Is this bad? What are we thinking here? Sorry, I'm trying to find my fucking pen tool. There it is, right in front of my goddamn face. So what do you guys think? Is this bullish or is this bearish? Like right now, you got to assume, right? Like, is this lower low? Is this what we're looking at right now? Lower low, and then this is the lower high. So I, as you guys know, am looking for a move into this weekly breaker here, right? So let's get our levels back. I'm looking for a move into here. So my ideal situation, right, is a move into here, then a move up to here. Then I don't give a fuck. 0 or a bajillion dollars. I'll figure that out when the time comes. But I'm not trying to predict the next 10 whatever fucking moves, right? I always talk about trying to predict one move at a time. I think based on the weekly chart and the monthly chart here, right, that the next draw for price is higher. Like I think the next main draw on liquidity or daily objective or your bias, I think it's up on the highest time frames. I do think that based on how the other markets looked, there's some complementary factors there, right? With the dollar pulling back a little here, with ES looking quite strong. So I would love a move below this low into here and then be able to trade that up to here. Up in this area, right? Taking out this significant high, which is right below this weekly fair value gap. This seems to me like a good area for a potential lower high. Maybe it's not. Maybe we get up here and just like we did here and here, maybe we leg up, consolidate, and then leg up again. I don't know and I don't care. But I would like to get in a long trade towards here because I think that is the next potential upside objective. So now I'm trying to time on this pullback when I will be able to get into that long. Just like here, right? If you want to long this next leg up, this was the ideal time. Obviously, longing the bottom's longing the bottom, no shit. But if a move's happen, right, where do you want to long? You want to long on a retrace. So similar to, you know, what we had over here. Right? We had our move up. This wick, it was fast, you guys remember. It did wick below the 50% of the range. Here's our weekly range, right? We're still in the upper portion. So that's why that dip that I want into here also brings us into a discount on this range. And in my opinion, makes it a much more favorable place to get into longs. Obviously, we can go up from here. We do not need to do this pullback that I want, but that's just kind of some of my logic behind it is I want to see a bit of a deeper pullback, shake out some more people who are longing early, thinking it's just going to go up, and then smash it. This could be the lower high already, though, right? Like this is, if you now use your fib from, I don't know, I'd say this is probably your dominant price leg, right? Not quite at the 50, right? So that move above 32, the inverse of what I just showed you here, would also line up with, you know, bringing price above the 50% of this range, right? And if we're shorting, looking for a lower high, I want to do it in the premium above the 50%. So that's another reason why I would like to see a move up to here. But again, it doesn't have to. Nothing has to happen. This is all educated guessing. That's what trading is. If anyone tries to sell it to you that they know what is going to happen, they're a snake oil salesman, right? Or woman, or snake oil sales they them. Fucking clown world. just just yeah, they're spewing a bunch of bullshit, right? No one knows what's going to happen. We're using TA and whatever other tools you may use to try and make an educated guess that is managed from a risk perspective. So you know what you're willing to, what you stand to make or lose before going in, and you hope that your TA or whatever else you use, your edge, slightly tilts the odds in your favor. That's all it is. So based on my TA, which obviously does not work, everyone knows this, I would like to see a move up to here. So I'm focused on trying to get in a long, and I would like to get in a long down here, somewhere in this gray box. It does not have to happen. We could go up from right here. We do not have to come down to where I want to enter. We can also roll over from here and through this and new lows. Literally anything can happen. But what I'm doing is I'm laying out, as you guys, I always hammer this into you guys, if this, then that scenarios. So if we come into here, I want to look for a long to target here. If we come into here and I do not get any sort of long trigger, or I long and I get stopped out, then I'm just wrong, right? Like, and that will happen. So you don't stress out about potentially being wrong. It's going to happen. I had someone in Discord today tag me like, hey, is there anything wrong with this setup I took? I got stopped out. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, sometimes you just get stopped out. Like, that just happens. Sometimes the trade is wrong. And it is what it is. You're going to be wrong a lot. So that's my kind of high time frame plan. I would like to see a move to 32 to 34, 35,000. And I would like to long that below 25K to get there. Okay? From there, I don't know. And again, if this just decides it wants to go down, then so be it. But we can only operate with what we have available to us here. And then as new information becomes available, and new information, I mean new candles, right? More data, then we can tweak and alter and change our plans as we go. It's fluid, right? You got to be fluid in this. So weekly, I still think there is a chance that we go higher here. Now, looking at the 12-hour, which is kind of my high time frame from a trading perspective, right, where I'm actually looking, for executions and stuff, we have our range here that we've been trading in for, a couple of weeks now. We had multiple rejections here, right? So I talked about the lower high forming potentially in here. Multiple rejections, sold off, reject, up, reject, sold off, up, sold off again, failed to make a lower low, right? And once we reclaim this low, this is like an SFP. On Ethereum, it was an SFP. What is this? What is this? Ethereum, it was an SFP. Like, if you look here, that same dump on Ethereum is this one, and it did end up SFPing the low. And then that's kind of an easier trigger because we all love the SFP. You know what to do, right? But from like a logical perspective and how I view a TA at least, this is the same. The SFP is preferred, right? Like this. But it closed below, instantly reclaimed. The way I trade this is the exact same way I would trade an SFP. So there is a lot of alpha on how I trade just in that statement there. That should add a layer to the cake if you've been paying attention for a long time. And I've spoken about this before, but like, to me, this is the same as an SFP. Trade below, instantly back above. You have a breaker form, and on the lower time frames, right? SFPs forming, market structure break, breaker formed, like all the same things that I look for on an SFP entry work here because the logic is effectively the same. Because on one time frame, it's an SFP. On another time frame, it closed through. Like, so look here. This is an SFP on the 1 hour. On the 15-minute, it actually closed above the level. But then it instantly got right back below. So how is that any different, right? Just like this, it's not an SFP on this time frame, but maybe on the daily, not quite, 3-day. No, none of these is an SFP. Oh, the weekly, it's not an SFP, but it's a run below the weekly low and then right back above it. So hopefully that makes sense. I know it's a little bit of, sorry, I just spat all over my screen. I know it's a little bit of a word jumble there, but to me, an SFP, right, is just a level getting faked out, right? So we trade above it, then we're back below. Some people call this an over-under. Some people call this a deviation, right? Like a trader as Z would call this a deviation. The logic is simple, right? Just like if you're trading a range, right? And we're like, oh, we went above the range, but then we sold back in and now I'm bearish. Well, it's like, why? Because it was like a fake out, right? And now you have your risk defined here. Now this, visualized in a candlestick, this can be just a wick, right? Like here. Or it can be, yeah, a close through, but a very quick reclaim. And on the lower time frames, it's going to look like an SFP on the low time frame. This and this on the low time frame, they look the same. Right? It's going to be a move above the level and then back below the level. A move below the level and then back above the level. It's going to look the same, so you can treat it the same. Right? Like if I go down to the hourly here, trading below the level, quickly back above, putting in hourly bullish market structure, right? Go to the low time frame up here. Traded above the level. We can go down to the 1 minute. It should probably be a little bit better. This was a pretty hard spike, but the same thing. It's trading below, gets above, right? Right back below, and now it's just downtrending. So when you kind of understand that they're interchangeable, right? An SFP is, I think, a better signal because they couldn't even close it below the level. But I put an equal amount of strength in closing below the level, but then reclaiming it immediately. Hopefully that makes sense. So we had multiple rejections from here, right? And then when we didn't take out this low, I told you guys what? I said, hey, if we get back above, delete this. If we get back above here, right, this candle, I think this area becomes like a breaker, right? And I would then target a long up into here and potentially up into here. So that was the plan from the last stream. If we got back above here because we failed to break down, right? Reclaim, pushed up. We have an internal break in market structure to the upside. You have a high here on the H12. Bang, we're trading higher. So this could absolutely go up from here. Now, the only bearish scenario that I kind of had mapped, right, was I'm leaning bullish, right? I want to see price trade up to here now. That's kind of my plan, and I want to get in a long. But I said there's one potential bearish scenario where it trades up here, but then it sweeps this, right? It deviates this high, and that was just a range fake out to the upside, and now we've got these lows here. Now we're going to trade down to the downside. So this is still very much a possibility, but because of my view on the dollar, because of my view on equities, right? Bearish dollar temporarily, bullish equities for now. I would like to think that if equities can go up, it can take crypto with it. So that's kind of the whole thesis for my trade. Whereas like I could technically just be looking for a short here. Okay, we're in a down leg and we just put in an H12 SFP. I could argue that, hey, I want to be shorting here with a target, of down here, right? It's completely possible that that is going to be what happens here. But I like the potential of a move higher based on the much higher time frames, and the risk reward is good, right? If this is my breaker that I'm looking to bid, if this is the breaker that I'm looking to bid, I will likely try and find a low time frame entry within here, right? And I'm going to target all the way up there, right? So if I'm able to get that kind of, low time frame trigger, the risk reward for a move to the upside is really strong. So I'm erring on the side of wanting price to go up and being bullish, because I think that this is an area where there's good risk reward and a reason to have a higher time frame draw to the upside. But I want to get long, kind of where I want to get long. And ideally, it was going to be down into here. But for now, I'm going to be focused on this. Okay, so if we come down here, I absolutely will look to long again. But I'm going to attempt to long here if I get the chance. So we've put in a H12 swing low right here. And I was hoping we would get a sweep on this candle. We didn't quite, but now we have kind of equal lows here. So I'd like to see these two lows get run into this 12-hour order block, or breaker block, excuse me. And I would look for a long trigger in here, targeting up here and ultimately up there. If this zone fails, the next area I'm interested is down here. So I'm leaning bullish. I'm trying to get into a long. I do see the justification for a short here. Swept the high, clear downside target here, but I'm hoping that we go up from here. So I'm looking for longs. I have my technical reasons for why. I have other markets that I think are correlated, also looking bullish. So that's my game plan for now. A little bit lower, right? Down into the, low 27s here. And then up, hopefully, to 32K. That would be ideal. If this fails, right? If this zone fails, and we get back below this high, and we start holding there, and then eventually trade below here, right? I think we trade down to like 23, right? So if we fail at a long, that's why I like the long as well, right? Like, the upside potential here is huge. And if this is wrong, I think we have quite a deep decline into this weekly breaker, down, below 25 and, even maybe below 24. So I'm fine with, being wrong here and then trying again down here, or even shorting into down here. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. But if you look at it, the hourly here, it's pretty straightforward, right? We've got our clear lows here. I want to see these get run. And then I want to see a long setup form. Right? And then I've got my clear targets to the upside. Let me know if that makes sense, guys. Okay. Mojitaba, please do the streams a bit earlier. Sorry, bro. Not everyone lives where you live. I will try and do it earlier. I'm not really good at being consistent with the time. I am not drunk. What are you talking about, Jane? What's up, Mayne? Lower high on BTC? Maybe. Gonna find out pretty soon. What's up, Joel? Mayne, how's Jane doing? Why don't you ask her? She's in the chat terrorizing me. Mayne, do you have any specific symbols for some tickets, like red flag near the ticket which you're looking to short? I've done that in the past, right? Like green would be longs and reds would be shorts, right? Except for I ain't short an XRP. Shit does look good. Hey man, loves your streams. What mic do you use? I use a Blue Yeti. You got to DM me, brother, and I will send it to you. Can I use VPN for exchanges because of Canada? Jane, if you want to break the law, using a VPN to access a restricted site would be against the rules and a breach of the terms and conditions of that platform. I would never tell you to do that. You know what I mean? I would never tell you to do that. Mayne, what could you do to improve yourself when you're waiting for the market? Do you like backtesting? I don't really backtest anymore. I have a lot that keeps me busy. I'm starting some businesses. I've got Feed Genie that I'm working on, as you guys know. I joined the Haven. I've got Twitter. I've got Telegram. I've got Discord. I've got a YouTube channel. I'm starting up Feed Genie and another startup soon. So I've got a lot of shit on the go. So I don't really backtest much anymore. I don't trade nearly as much as I used to. But when I do have some free time, I love playing guitar, going to the gym, playing video games. I don't know if that's the answer you're looking for, but there it is. Does it work if we already have an account? Yes, it does. You can use it if you already have an account with me. Tom, it's not real money. It's just extra leverage. Yes, that is true. I don't think I said it was real money. It's like any sort of bonus you get from a gambling site or a trading exchange. You can't just deposit the money and withdraw the bonus, but you get extra capital to trade with. It's non-withdrawable though. So I don't know if extra leverage is the right word, but correct. Mayne is a young, handsome looking Mayne. Thank you, bro. Lex says, send it to Hades. Okay, down. BTC spot selling off. Yeah, Bybit is no longer going to work in Canada. I know. I put that in the Discord like a month ago. I said KYC is coming and then the Canadian ban is coming. It's just happening. Let's see Twitch here. Did we miss the BTC bottom? Well, we're up almost 100%, so it's looking likely. It doesn't mean for sure. It can go make new lows. Nothing is stopping it from doing that. But for now, it looks fairly bullish, wouldn't you say? I mean, it definitely looks like the lows are in at least. Yeah, we can make new lows, but I would rather bet on the low being in, and trying to catch some sort of higher low than the lows not being in. But we definitely can make a new low or pull back way deeper and maybe not quite make a new low. It's impossible to fucking say, bro. Like, no one knew 3K was the bottom until it was already the fucking bottom and we were, trading at like 100% higher. Please drop your traps workout. Just do deadlifts, guys. Deadlifts, overhead press, bench press, squat. Where would your stop loss be in the H12 breaker you're trying long? Well, I need to see what price does when it gets there, right? I'm looking for the setup on the lower time frame, guys. What games you playing? New Zelda right now. The new Zelda is lit. I am getting old because, some of the mechanics are fucking genuinely, very confusing. And it's like, you got to, solve some puzzle by being super creative and putting all this shit together. And I don't know, video games are just harder than I remember. Yeah, so you're saying this guy has a good question. Dominic, it's confusing because if we break H1 structure to the downside, wouldn't that validate a short? But at the same time, it'd be trading deeper into the breaker, right? Which could be a long. Remember, I'm focused on H12 market structure here, right? The H12 market structure right now is this right here. So I'm trying to judge how long is this retracement. And in this retracement, there will be uptrends and downtrends on the hourly. But the idea is using this pullback confluent with a high time frame area of interest, in this case being the breaker, my entry is when the 1 hour, because I'm expecting a higher low on the H12. So I want to see the 1 hour. I don't care that it's bearish. I want it to be bearish. And then I want it to flip to bullish. And that's my clue, right? So it's in a downtrend here. Right? Oh shit, it looks like shit. And And then all of a sudden, it makes a low, and then it changes the trend. Well, now the H1 is in an uptrend, which is what the H12 is in, right? You have a low and a higher high on the H12. Right? That's the entire essence of what I try and teach with you guys, is that logic there. Are you still macro bearish for below 16K? I don't think I've said I was expecting below 16K. My last macro call was going like all in on this spike to 19,000 here back when I was in Aspen and my fucking dog died. When I went in Telegram, I was like, I'm getting major long here. I don't think I've been bearish on new lows for a while. I just said I wanted to see 32K get tagged. Maybe after here, new lows. Right? I don't know, but I think there's still room for this rally to trade higher. And then I think up in this area is, if this is a lower high and the bear market is continuing, this seems like a better area for the lower high to form, in my opinion. You usually use 12-hour for setup, H1 for execution. Correct. Okay, so hopefully everyone understands the plan on Bitcoin. I know there's a lot of talking going on here, but I would like to see a run below these lows for a long. That's my game plan right now. I want to see a run below these lows to get long. I might not get it. This might be the higher low, and I got front run by, a little bit, and I didn't get the retest. But I'm looking for a move up from ideally this area. Hopefully I get entry higher. Okay, that's the plan for Bitcoin. The bearish scenario is if we start trading back below this H12 high here, right? So if we don't, the only amount I don't want us to get a bunch of closes down here. I want a quick move below and then out. If we start closing below this high and trading down, I'm going to assume that this is actually a lower high and that we are going to target here. So maybe I'll look to short. I don't know. And then if that happens, I'll be looking for longs in my higher time frame breaker. So just like I'm looking for longs here, if that fails, my next area is this same type of zone, but instead of the 12-hour, it's the weekly. Okay, so we'll have to wait and see, but plan is long bias for now. Let's see what happens. Ethereum ended up tagging the breaker. So we put in a fresh high here on Ethereum above this old range high. So this was our range from here to here. We closed above. So we have a breaker here on Ethereum, right? Up candle for the down move that took out some lows. And it got a retest. I was hoping, similar to Bitcoin, that we got a decent retest and I could find an entry on the low time frame. Maybe we will pull back again, right? So we have an H12 low here. So just like on Bitcoin, I would like to see this low get run, and I would like to get long below this low for a move up. Bitcoin didn't tag the breaker, Ethereum did. So again, I could be swerved, right? Like the higher low could already be in, and we could just trade up from here. But unfortunately, I don't have a long setup right here in the middle here. I want to see a move below here, or I'll get long on a breakout. Same thing with Bitcoin. I want to see a move below here, or I'll get long above here. I'm not going to long kind of this in the middle area because I want to be able to define my risk. So Ethereum did come in, test the breaker here. We kind of have, an H1 SFP, H1 MSB right there, right? So you could argue that, Ethereum, is a long already. You have another H1 SFP, right? So this could be it, right? It tagged the breaker. Now it's putting in bullish H1 market structure. That could have been the low. And maybe Bitcoin just front run my shit and I'm not going to get the entry. That might happen. But for now, I'm hoping, because I'm not currently long, that I get a run of these H12 lows on Bitcoin and Ethereum. And the plan is the same on both in terms of, basically one more drive down, then up. Like Bitcoin targets initially, I think would be up here. Well, first would be here and then up here, like 30. I think the Ethereum target is, up here, 2000, if this is going to leg up again. And yeah, a lot of alts look pretty good to me. We can go over some in a bit. Jane says, maybe because you're getting old, losing energy. Jane, shut the fuck up. I'm full of energy, just not for you. I haven't shorted in weeks. Bear is over. Okay. You think Pepe trend is over? Do not care. There is a 12-hour bearish OB on 28,800 that broke structure to the downside. What about that one? This one? You mean this one? Here? Because yeah, that to me though, like these highs seem very nice and clean right up here. Like if we go up, I don't think it's just to reject here personally, but yeah, that could be a target if that's what you're saying. Yeah, Victor, I'm the same. What platform does H12 free? Dex Screener or Dex Tools? Just use the daily. The daily works the same. I just see one extra candle. So I get a little bit more data, which makes me just a little bit smarter and my penis a little bit longer. Your girlfriend just a little bit more into me. That's the difference, but it's not much. It's not that big of a deal. C-Dub says, thanks, mate. Your process is so simple. When you go through it, it's almost at the point where I can sort it out myself. Thanks for that. You'll get there, brother. Keep on practicing. You're welcome, G14. Did you mess with Capo coin or Capo coin? I have no idea what that is. Okay, let's look at Ethereum BTC. So we've been going sideways on this motherfucker forever, dude. Like forever. This thing's been slow as fuck. This is literally 3 years of sideways. That being said, on the weekly chart here, right, we have our range. So if this is going to go up, where would I like to see this get bullish, right? That's your range high to your range low, right? I would like to see the bull step in below the 50%. So we had this big leg up, made a higher high here. Now we're retracing into this range. Okay, we've got our weekly fair value gap right here, sitting below the 50%, right at the sweet spot in the OTE. So price traded into this area. I'm just going to get rid of this now so it's a little cleaner. Traded below the 50%. Zoom into the H12. You can see at right below the 50%, what do? We put in a weekly swing failure pattern, bullish swing failure pattern, right? So we have a bullish sweep on the weekly, and you have a 12-hour SFP, and here is your 12-hour breaker. Pushed up, broke market structure. Now we're back in it. Another H12 move below, break above, retest, another H12 sweep, and this is just slowly starting to creep up, right? Just higher highs and higher lows here on the H12. So the concern is that it's just this, right? And it's going to end fucking poorly. I have a very hard time being an Ethereum bull, right? Like it always seems to just let us down. But for now, this looks okay. I think this can still trade higher. Coming into an area of resistance right here. So I would want to see this take this high here on the H12, right? Which would make a kind of short-term weekly higher high. So if you just look at the weekly chart here, just lower highs, lower lows here, lower high, lower low, lower high, potential higher low. So I want to see price break this trend on the weekly, right? And to do that, the H12 needs to maintain its uptrending structure. So looking okay, right? Kind of a falling wedge even into support. So I would like to see this, right? Take out this high. That's your confirmation. Break there. And then maybe we finally get, a push up to this range high, for the first time in over a year. But very slow chart. Hate this chart. Hasn't been super useful because it's just been so fucking choppy. Normally, if this thing is clearly downtrending, right, if you're looking along Bitcoin or Ethereum, Bitcoin's the better long or whatever, the correlation is given what the charts are doing. I've done an entire video on that topic. It's in the education playlist. So we'll see, but looking okay for now. Dip below the 50%, back above. Want to see it get above here, and then we can target this 0.8165 range high and be bullish on Ethereum over Bitcoin, right? So dollar, really happy with how this played out. Called the sweep of the low, said we're going to trade up to here. We literally had, 3 straight weeks of up, just right to the level. Coming into weekly resistance here, right? This is the weekly resistance level, right? Kind of a weekly breaker. Ran above that high, traded down, okay? Ran the low, now we're up here. So is this going to put in a lower high? This is going to affect a lot of what happens in other markets, right? If this is the lower high and this goes down, guess what? Risk is going on a party. Bitcoin's going to go nuts. Ethereum will go nuts. Gold and silver will go nuts. These two will go nuts. These two will get smoked, right? But this can drift higher, I think, into this zone still before potentially going down. But for sure, if we get above here, I think we trade way higher on the dollar, which would be very bearish for Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is definitely a chart you want to pay attention to. We want Bitcoin and Ethereum to go up and the stock market to go up. So we want to be looking for those to find support, and we want the dollar to find resistance. This is big time resistance on the dollar. So we want to see it act as resistance, because if it doesn't and the dollar just keeps chatting up, that's not going to be good for risk, Bitcoin, Ethereum, equities, for any USD denominated pairs. Okay, so this is a key area. We're into that weekly zone. We had a 12-hour SFP. Just kind of consolidating here, but I would be watching this as a sign that we're going to reject at least to down here, right? This consolidation here, basically, right? These former highs. I would want to see us hold here. A dollar bull, right? So if you're bearish on crypto and bearish on equities, you want to see this pull back and then continue up, right? That's what you want to see. But I do think that this is due for at least a short-term pullback, and then we see what happens, right? It can go from here to up, or it can go from here, right? Bounce. This would be the most bullish scenario for Bitcoin. But for now, resistance, I think a move back to 103.6 down to 103.3 is in the cards. And that would line up potentially with Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? About to make another move higher. Euro USD looking pretty good. So ES, take a quick look at the chat here. LRD just keeps saying plan equals market buy. Bro, with all this typing you're doing, you could have market bought already. What are you waiting on? Put your money where your mouth is. Stop telling other people what to do. You go market buy. You do it. Come on. That used to be the best part about BitMEX is in the troll box, you could just go hashtag position, right? So a really funny troll is if people were fucking with you, oh, blah, 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 like I'm short, I'm long, or you're not long, whatever. You could just say hashtag slash position. Because if you did that in the chat box on the BitMEX website, it would show you your open position with your account name. So it's kind of like the ultimate way to, it's like being on the leaderboard or whatever, or having a public profile on Binance, etc. It's the same idea, but it was just, that's the good old days. And you could just comment that on Twitter. If people were like talking shit, just go slash position. Show me your position then. If I'm saying we're going down and you're telling me I'm wrong, okay, show me your long. I've been watching Mayne already for a year. Hey, congrats, man. This used to confuse me a year ago. Now it's simple. Draw on liquidity, high time frame. Look for a reason to enter when price gets there. Correct. I love you too, Blend Salihu. Hashtag position LRD. Show us your position. Show us your long. Mayne, do you ever look at CVD divergences? No. How's the Haven gig going? It's going good, man. I'm enjoying it. Good community over there. Mayne, don't you think AI stock craze is a bubble? That shit already priced in before Chat GPC. I won't show you my long, but if you ask nicely, I might show you my dick. Well, I'm going to ask not nicely and tell you to go fuck yourself. I don't want to see your wiener. Only wiener I'm interested in seeing is my own. I don't know about the AI stocks, right? Like Nvidia went absolutely bonkers. A lot of just like regular stocks look nuts. Like, is that a bottom? I don't fucking know. Like, that looks strong. I don't know. Tesla was down like fucking so much. 75%. We caught 100% bounce. Looking like this is the higher low like I had mapped. Like, so a lot of stocks look strong. I mean, Nvidia is looking crazy, obviously. That's nuts. So I don't know if it's a bubble. I don't know. But, for the biggest recession of our lifetimes, price isn't down that bad. Like, all-time high doesn't seem insanely improbable on some of these markets, right? Like, this is at resistance, but above here, it's all-time high, right? ES is further off. NQ is also further off, but it's already like got a much stronger breakout. So let's look at ES. So I had April's range marked here. Right? We have, this is April's high. This is April's low. We traded above, back below. We put in a big sweep, and I basically posted in Telegram and all the other places I post. I said, I think we moved back up to April's high. Not only did we do that in one single candle, we broke above it, and now we're retesting it. So technically, you have a bullish breaker here. So I'm okay with trying to find, longs here, low time frame, if they present themselves. I don't have a long trigger here on the H1 currently. No long setup for me here. Maybe if we start trading back above these lows, maybe there's something. But for now, I don't know. It looks like this is just a breakout and a potential quick retest. We're holding above April's high and we're holding above 4,200. So I think the invalidation for equities bears is super clear, right? Because you have April's high here, right? And 4,200, which has kind of been that level that is just capped price for eternity. You just don't want to see us go below there, right? I do not really want to see price below 4,200 for any sustained period of time if this is going to continue higher. It's that simple for me on ES. Right? Three-day. Definitely some resistance here, right? But I don't know. I wouldn't even use that. Such a big zone. Who thought you'd ever hear me say that? Right? Like this is your level. Just got to get above here. And you have a breaker kind of right here. And you have a sweep on the weekly chart, right? So is this going to be the shift on the weekly for higher? So, I think both of these are at potential support along with dollar being at resistance, right? Thoughts on Hong Kong opening up its doors tomorrow? I think there's 10 coins. Does it have an effect on you whatsoever as far as sentiment bringing an actual play? Listen, this could just be like a fade the news event. I don't really know. I think as a whole for the industry and long term, it's bullish. Whether that means that we're going to go up tomorrow because of it or we're going to go up even more, but years from now, I don't fucking know. And it's not something I'm looking to try and trade. When the news drops or when the market opens, I'm not going to be looking just for a long personally. You could treat it like any news event, CPI, FOMC. So if there's like an interest rate announcement, you think it's going to be lower than what's expected, so you're bullish, by all means, you can try and trade that news-driven price move. What I wouldn't want to see is the news come out, right? Price pumps and then quickly retraces. Then it's kind of like, okay, that was just like a news pump and maybe we are actually going quite a bit lower. But I think overall, it's just good for the space in general. I know I will be a little bit salty because I was like, maybe I should just long this. We had this H1 breaker here, right? And this also happens to be Monday's low, I believe. But H1 bullish order block here. And I was like, maybe I'll just long this and started moving away. I was like, fuck, did I get swerved waiting for it to trade into here? And then we came right back down and you guys saw me post while this candle was red down here, like we're about to run the low. And then it literally closed as an up candle. And now it looks like it's potentially moving away again. I'm going to stay patient and I'm still going to wait for here or above here to do business. And I'm just going to have to sit on my hands in the middle, unfortunately. What's up, Angry Chair? All right, guys. So gold, right, did exactly what I said it was going to do, right? So I drew this out for you guys on gold like 2 days ago. I said, I think we run this low here into this order block, and I think we long it for a bounce. That lines up with my view that dollar was due for a pullback. Gold is at support. Dollar's at resistance. There's your good kind of confluence between the two markets. So we got exactly that. I said, I want to see us run this low. We ran it and we put in an H12 SFP of this low and of the low over here. So I went down to my execution time frame. I marked out my area of interest and this thing just chatted away. So could you still have, orders down here to get long? Sure. But I ideally wanted to see like what I would have liked to have seen, right? For me, obviously, right? Is we get the break up and then I get fucking entry and then it continues higher, right? That's the dream scenario because then I would actually be in the long. But on the hourly, it just ripped up and it took out several highs on the way and it almost came to my initial target. This was kind of my first target for the move. So waiting to long back down here, I don't know if I like it as much now because it feels like I've missed a good chunk of the move. And like if it comes back down here, that's not actually bullish anymore. But I don't know. I'm still monitoring this. I still think that this is due for relief and can go higher, especially if the dollar is going to pull back even further, right? But I don't have an entry right now. I didn't get filled. If you were watching this last night and you were on the low time frame, right, there's absolutely an entry here on the M5, right? So here's your SFP, right? Why would I want that ever? There's your order block, break in market structure, retest, order block, entry, bang. So there was entries on the lower time frame as the SFP occurred, but the hourly did not give an entry. It just moved straight up. And so I'm not long. So yeah, the analysis was right and it did what I thought it was going to do, but I'm not in the trade. So fuck that shit. Mayne, do you mind if I watch your stream completely in the nude? Want me to check with you because I don't want to disrespect your work. Go stream though. I wish you had never said that because now anytime I'm going to see your name, I'm going to assume you might be naked. And yeah, you're the same guy who said you would show me your dick. Like, I don't want to see your dick, bro. I know we're below 30K, but I'm still not that gay. Was that an M5 break on gold? Yes, that's exactly what I just said, brother. Okay, so that's kind of my plan right now. Euro USD, right? We had our big move up into resistance and similar to gold, right? You have your 12-hour order block here. SFP. Right? Move below. Get right back above. On the hourly, this, I think, played out potentially. Is playing out, right? A lot nicer. Sorry, guys. My apologies. So yeah, I mean, maybe there's an entry here that you're looking at. I think going into tomorrow, I think into here, some sort of sweep, right? Or pullback into here tomorrow, coupled with the dollar going down more, could be good long opportunities on Euro USD. So that's what I'd be watching. I'd have an alert at this low and I'd have an alert at this breaker right here as areas to potentially look for longs on this tomorrow. EU. That was so lame. I'm sorry. All right, guys. Let's see here. H4 M15 on Euro was a sweat. Oh man, that would have been nice. That would have been sweet right there, hey? That would have been the sweet buy right then and there. But we'll have to wait and see if I get an entry. I'm still waiting, Quacker. Not long like you fucking Giga Chad. Do you map out weekly and daily swing levels or just naturally see them at this point? I mark the ones that are relevant to where I am currently in price. But yeah, you definitely start to just visually see things. Like, you know, like you'll look at a level, right? And I'm like, okay, well, I know that what's a good example here? Like I know that this is last week's low. We traded below it and then back above, right? I know that that's last week's low. It's an area of interest for me. It's an area I want to see price sweep, right? And it did. It ran below, got right back above. Could I have labeled it last week's low? Sure. I just fucking drew it out. And I'm like, this is clearly a key low based on the H12 or whatever. How has the S&P not dipped? I mean, it dipped a little. Right? Like this is the start of the week so far. It's down only so far this week, really. But yeah, I mean, look, that's what you're looking for. Where and how deep is this potential pullback? Is this a pullback before higher prices, or is this just a fake out of this level here? Right? So if you're an SPX bull, you want to see a long form above April's high, in my opinion. Really have anything for dollar CAD? I guess. But no trade for me here right now. USD JPY, short biased. Right? We have our H12 sweep into some high time frame resistance here. Right? We have our weekly bearish order block. We have our H12 sweep. H1 trigger. So I'd like to see this sell off, right? So Euro USD I want up, dollar I want down, dollar JPY I want down. Bitcoin I want up, but I want it to go down just a little and then up. Just like I want EU to go down just a little and then up. Have you ever tried funded trading? Yes, I have several funded accounts. I only keep up with my accounts on FTMO. I didn't realize until much later in my trading journey on prop accounts that you can use like a copy trader. So you can have a funded account with all these different firms, and then you can have one master account, and it will, using a copy trading service, it will automatically, if you take a long on EU, it will take it on all the accounts. And it can even, like let's say one account's 100K and one's only 10K, right? It will adjust the risk proportionately as well, which is pretty cool. I didn't learn that until later. And what happens with funded accounts is some of them, right? A lot of them have certain rules, like how many times you have to trade every month. There's just rules. There's risk rules. There's activity rules. So some of the ones that had stricter rules than I wasn't active on kind of fell off, but then I found copy trading. So I have a couple FTMO accounts and I have another account on another prop firm, and all of them are operated through a copy trading service. So a trade I take on one of them gets taken on all of them. But I definitely think there's huge advantages to prop firms. I think that the primary use of a prop firm, listen, it's leverage, right? The more prop firm challenges you can pass, the access to more money you can have. I just explained you can use copy trading to take trades on all of them at the same time. All that is awesome, but there are strict risk rules, activity rules, things like that. Some prop firms won't let you carry trades over the weekend. Some prop firms only offer a certain amount of leverage. There's a profit split, like 90-10 or 80-20, right? So while there's tons of advantages for them in terms of getting access to more capital than you would be able to normally, I think they are a means to an end. You don't want to be on a prop account forever. Ideally, you want to be on a prop account, building up your personal capital, and then you just start trading your own personal account where you keep 100% of the money. I do not play Counter-Strike. Not anymore. I used to back in the day. That's a really good tip. Thanks. I'm doing a 10K challenge at the moment. I'm halfway through. FTMO has been the best for you. FTMO is solid. There's a lot of solid ones. I would just read reviews and then pick one that you like. But FTMO is one I have experience with. I've gotten payouts from. Okay. So I'll look at two altcoins real quick. So I really like Solana and XRP. And I like ARB too. So Solana, right? We have this monthly range and this monthly order block as the draw on price. Just like on Bitcoin, this seems to be the draw on price for me. Above 30 up to almost $40 on Solana. So if you start zooming in, even if this is going to be a lower high, there's a lot of room for this to go up, clear out these highs into here. So I'm looking to get long Solana. So we have this weekly look here, weekly SFP, go down lower time frame. We have our 12-hour breaker, right? So I'm looking ideally to get long in here. I think you have a super clean invalidation. You have April's low confluent with that breaker. So if you're bullish on Solana, and I think the upside potential on Solana is way up here, okay? So if you think the upside potential is way up here, and this is where you're wrong, at least on this trade, right? Like we can trade below here and then go up. But for this trade idea, we want to stay above April's low, basically. Right? Maybe something like this. That's a really good risk reward on a trade I would like to take. So I'm interested in trying to get long on Solana based on that logic. We went below his April low. We're back above it. I want to see it hold here. And the upside objective is quite far away. XRP, I was looking at something similar. We came into this monthly order block, took out April's low. Right? So same thing. Here's that monthly order block. There's April's low. We traded below it. Now we're up. Same idea as on Solana here. I'm like, okay, I like this, how it's looking here. April's low is very clear validation, but this thing moved really fast, right? It's already up 15% from here. So I don't know if I would want to bid this again. I might have to see price come down here and then decide. But I would like to, if we get back into this larger gray box, I would like to look for reasons to be long. Again, simple invalidation is below April's low, and the upside targets make the risk reward good. So those are two altcoins that I'm watching and that I like. XRP and Solana. So maybe add those to your watch list if you want to. Yes, I've talked about DXY already, brother. Do you trade Bitcoin or only traditional assets on prop accounts? Primarily, I traded FX because you're not going to get as good of a spread on a prop account that you will on a centralized exchange. Right? There's going to be a bigger spread on a prop account because you're using a broker instead of trading directly with the exchange. Okay, guys, I'm going to end the video here. I got to take the dog for a walk. I got to eat some dinner, but hopefully this was good. As usual, guys, the condensed version of the stream will be up tomorrow. So if you want to support me, you want to support the editor who does such an awesome job putting these condensed videos up for you and all the memes and everything, the best way to do that, using that Prime XBT link. Then use code Mayne50, throw some money on there, start trading with me. You can take these gold and these EU trades on Prime using crypto. I do have 120% deposit bonus links or codes. So if you're interested in that, let me know. You can DM me. If you're using my Prime link, I will send one of those to you. But I only have 100, so I'm not just going to post them. It'll be first come, first serve. And I'll be back probably midweek. It's Tuesday, so maybe Thursday I'll do another video. Just keep you guys in the loop, keep you guys updated, lots of content. Gave you some trading ideas here on Bitcoin, Ethereum, on gold, on EU, and on UJ, and on XRP, and on Sol. Legit trading ideas, where I want to enter, why, all laid out for you. So hope you guys are learning from these. Hope you're enjoying them as usual. Likes, comments, retweets, share this around, really helps me out. We're almost at 40,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. I want to get to 100,000. So let's keep grinding, okay?